Hey, what's up, Magic Bullet? It's your boy Irvine. Woo! Alright, so I'm going to go over the replays you sent me. Sorry about the long delay. Just life and everything. But after I do this, I'm going to celebrate and buy myself some Mexican food. So I'm looking forward to that. Alright, so Magic Bullet is in the bottom left, and the top left is... Oh, correction. Your top left and Rain in Africa is bottom left. Alright, so let's see what happens. Good old mining. Not enough minerals. Minerali. But yeah, hopefully all has been well with you. Nothing too crazy. Staying out of trouble and whatnot. Supply depot going down. Nice. As per usual. Okay. Barracks, good placement. Can squeeze the marine through it. No issues as of yet. I'm curious on what route you're going to be going. So I pulled up a guide so I can see. Okay, you got the probe kill. Nice. He's in the dark, but it's Protoss, so he's going to be able to still do whatever the hell he wants, unfortunately. Ooh, crap. Let me fix this for you real quick. I just realized that I'm not on full screen, but now I am. Yay. Factory almost done. Nothing too crazy as of yet. Gonna go for that Expo. Alright. So one fact Expo, good build order. Marine production still going. You really haven't missed a beat in regards to anything. This barracks, I don't know. I guess I'll see what you're going to be doing with it. I don't know why it's going over here. You should use it to wall off your natural. But maybe that's what you were going to do. I'm not sure. Alright, get the scouting information needed. Boom. Okay. Standard Gateway Cybo Expo to second gateway OBS. Yeah, this barracks, I guess you're just trying to scout the 12 to see if he's doing any type of shenanigans. That makes sense. But as soon as you... Oh, no! Whoa! Alright, that wasn't good. That was a little silly. You need to be cautious with your units. Right here, this high ground spot is amazing, and that's where you should keep your siege tank. And then, okay, yep, now the barracks is coming, so good stuff, good stuff. See, if the siege tank was right here, you'd be able to shoot off, so... Now you got your second one. You're doing good. It looks like you're limited by your APM. I would suggest spamming more because it may sound stupid, but if you spam, you're getting your hands used to moving around a lot more. So what was once spam will turn into actually efficient APM. So I'm definitely a big advocate of that. You're about to get supply blocked. Nope, actually you're not. So hell yeah. Yeah, I mean your build and everything seems good. You know, you don't have your ComSat just yet, even though you have an academy. So okay, there's that transfer. I mean, from the looks of it, you know what you need to do. It's just a matter of moving fast enough. You're stacking a lot of minerals. you should transfer your SCVs to the natural a lot faster. What the heck? So basically, two refinery, two machine shops. So you got that. Now you just need to throw down a couple more factories for the vulture production. You're getting your third. You don't have your army moving with you, so you can keep. You put the barracks here, and then build a supply depot and a turret to kill the observer and keep that at bay. And then, oh no. Oh, if they ever do this, you select all your siege tank and just like constantly spam stop, and then just let the vultures deal with it. Okay, so you are finally doing that. The barracks, all right, you're just using it for range. Got it. And then this command center is just kind of lacking. You're not really doing anything with it. And it seems like over the course of time, you just kind of fall. All right, yeah. Don't be afraid when I TVP. Pretty much all this is supply depots. Okay, now we finally got our third factory down. Yeah, you just seem to be floating a lot. But it's really difficult because Terran is a definitely mechanical demanding race. So try not to get frustrated. It is hard. I don't think pushing out to this location is a good idea. You want to pretty much stay secure and then throw like 3 to 4 siege tanks right here. And when I usually float my CC to the 12 o'clock, I'll wall off with supply depots at the same time. Oh no, the arbiter. Oh no. Yeah, he's attacking me. That's pretty funny. But yeah, you just want to use the chokes to your advantage. Wall this off as soon as possible with supply depots through a turret, and then start harvesting there. You need to transfer your SCVs. I mean, you've got a lot. When you see them like moving around like this, that means you can transfer. It seems like this armory is a little late. Okay, really good. You're throwing down turrets for the inevitable. What the heck? The inevitable arbiter, but I mean, you did have a little bit of warning when it came to. What is this thing doing? There it goes. All right. No. Oh no. Okay, it gets it in. Yeah, that's annoying. You don't have your second ComSat station. You definitely want that. All right, so yeah, the Protoss gets it. So from the looks of it, it's just you're kind of restricted. You're restricting yourself because you're just not fast enough, which is perfectly fine. I'm not sure of your background, but I'd definitely like to know. When it comes to like if you ever played any real-time strategy beforehand or whatnot, but it seems like your issue is just you're not able to physically do what you want. It seems like you have the mindset. Your opener was fine. I didn't see any issues with it. It was pretty straightforward. One fact Expo. So just try to like focus more on just getting faster while focusing on macro. The siege tank was out of place. You want to actually hold on, let me get into the replay again so we can go over it. Let me just go on west. And by the way, try to chill and channel CPL, or not CPL, crap, sorry, team 5. There we go. So we can all be in the same channel, so I don't have to like search around through all the discords to find you guys. So countdown. So when you float the barracks, you're kind of like scouting out over here. That's unnecessary. What you need to do is put it down here as soon as possible so you can reduce the amount of space that these dragoons can walk in, because they're really big and derpy. So you know, if you have the barracks there, one, they might attack that instead of your units, and then two, like two could go in and then one hit the barracks and then just wander away. So that you can definitely use that to your advantage. When you build your CC, don't be afraid to build it right here, because then you can move it closer to the natural, so it just reduces time, just being a little bit more efficient, because structures move pretty slow. You're building turret, okay, that's fine. But yeah, move this siege tank right here, because then you're going to be able to have all this range, push him, keep him at bay, throw the mines here, and then some more in the back, and you'd be fine. And then once these vultures are done throwing down the mines, you can bring them to the third, or just sacrifice them and try to hit them, because it looks like there is nothing at home, so you could have actually done a lot of damage with these vultures if you just would have went around. Always try to keep like 1 or 2 siege tanks up here, because if they ever try to bulldog you, you have something to defend, and then everything down here is pretty much going to die, but at least you'll be able to deal with the pressure. And then just transfer your SCVs, and then from this point it seems like you're not really sure what to do, so yeah, you have a lot of minerals. Yeah. So just at this point, don't focus. I mean, I wish I could see where your vision's at right now, so I could see what you're actually focusing on. But what you want to be focusing on is not so much of army position. Basically, you want to secure this and secure this, and then the goal is to try to max out as soon as possible, and then just throw turrets, which it seems like you actually have really good turret placement. Nothing too crazy. So, but yeah, just wall this off once you can. So start off, defend here, siege tank up, push out, secure this by putting your barracks down, and then a turret, and then once you have like a supply depot or something in the way, push the barracks out, so then you can get the vision for the siege tanks. Once you populate this, send about 3 over here when the CC is floating over, and then when the CC is floating over, send a couple SCVs to build up the wall immediately, and then with the turret to be able to deal with the shuttle or any type of shenanigans in the observer. Once you secure this, you basically just go into a factory explosion and focus on the upgrades. You didn't get this upgrade for a while, so just keep notice of that. And then just spam supply depots. Since you're going to be building all factory units are 2 supplies, so basically you want to have 2 SCVs. If 2 SCVs to constantly produce supply depots, and then if you're not able to keep tabs on that, then just have 3. It's alright to overcompensate, because right now you're in the learning process. I mean, technically everyone's still in the learning process. That's what makes this game so difficult. But if you know you slack in an area, you can make up for it. Like, for instance, as a Zerg player, when my macro would slip, I'd throw down additional hatcheries, even though you're not supposed to have them. But it's like, well, I couldn't mechanically command or control them, so, or spend all my resources accordingly. So you just kind of have to make up for what you're lacking, and then as you get better, you can, you know, cut that stuff out, and then just, you know, hone in on your skill. But yeah, transfer your SCVs as soon as possible. You have a whole bunch of just kind of just chilling there. If there was like a Reaver drop too, that would just be game ending. Although you do have the turret, so, but just things like that. The double factory is fine. Or the double machine shop's cool. Kind of would have liked to see a few more factories instead of just that extra machine shop and siege tank production, because you're kind of limiting yourself on what you can build. So let me see what the guide says to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. So you went the siege tank expand route. So I will link you the Team Liquid guide on this build, and you can read over it as much as you want. And then I've got some replays we could go off of as well. So let's go over this to make sure everything is on par. So 9 supply depot. Alright, we're about there. Barracks should be at 12, but it seems like you took a little early, but I mean you had the extra gas, so you're fine. Refinery at 12, it seemed like that was on point. Factory at 16. Oh, whoops. 15 supply depot. Yep. Okay, I see that. And then, okay, it seems like your factory is off just a little bit when it comes to the timing. So just try to get that down as soon as possible. Stuff like this should just be. You could host up a custom game versus like an AI, and then just practice these over and over and over again, if need be. And don't be afraid to play like BGH and Fastest and stuff like that, because it just, once you learn how to move your hands and just build stuff a little faster, you know, playing the game in general will always help. So don't think that you're only going to get better if you play 1v1s. Playing other games still are effective. 21 was supposed to be the CC, so the factory was a little late, should be at 16. You dropped it at 200 gas, so it could have been a little faster. Machine shop at 100%. Siege tank, yep. CC at 21. Let's see. You build it at 26. Supply depot to follow this up. Okay, looks like you so yeah, the second supply depot wasn't necessary. You should have gotten the command center before the second supply depot. Or third supply depot, sorry. eBay at 28. So the engineering bay is just to be able to stop. So the academy you don't need, because your gas is going into all this. You're only off of 1 gas. And oh, look at that. You need to have your 2 extra SCVs on that. I don't think there's anything. Okay, full. So the timing says once you start throwing down your machine shop is when you need to throw the 2 extra SCVs back on gas. So as soon as the factory is done and you plant that machine shop, then put the 2 guys back on gas and you should have enough minerals. And yeah, that push was very unfortunate. Losing that just makes it even harder for you to push out. So yeah, so basically let's go over this one more time just to make sure that we get everything squared away. So 9, this can be built at 12, and then at 12 so can the refinery. So 9 supply depot, 12 barracks refinery, 15 supply depot. So 15, okay, you did it at 16, 17, so it was slightly off. The factory was off a little bit. It can go down at 16. So 9, 12, 12, 15, 16. Slow down a little bit. The constant marine production's fine, because you never know. It seems like you're scouting. Yeah, you didn't have scouting information, so if he was doing like any type of zealot shenanigans and whatnot, you can defend it with this, but still, it's better to be safe than sorry. SCV, you just want to keep that going, but it's understandable due to the APM. Just there's a lot of stuff to be doing, and it can be super frustrating, so it's understandable. And then everything seemed to be fine. You just need to, as soon as you throw it down to the machine shop, after you built the factory, just think, all right, 2 SCVs back on, and instead of the academy, you want to throw down the eBay for the turrets to deny any type of DT rush or anything like that. Once you get the DT, or once you finish the eBay, when you finish the eBay, that's pretty much the opener as is. Okay, sorry, I was just reading to make sure that I hit everything. Yeah, so. Okay. Yep, so pushing out, that was bad. But once you get the CC finished, eBay instead of the Academy, you put your siege tank here, float the barracks there, wall that off, and then have everything pretty much go at the same time. So the CC is over here. As the CC is landing, the siege tank's already here, barracks is falling down there, and then you build a turret and start kind of defending it. You can throw the barracks, the supply depot, then turret here, and then once you get enough units, then you start crawling your way out. Extra CC, I mean, it's fine. You have a whole bunch of extra minerals, so, but as you can tell, the reason why you have so much stacked minerals is because you don't have your natural gas yet. When you have that natural gas pumping, you wouldn't be floating so much, and then you'd be able to throw down the additional factories. And just try to think, rule of thumb, one refinery or one machine shop per refinery. So since you only have one refinery going, there should just be an extra for vulture production. Yeah, just put that bad boy down, and then yeah, you just kind of start falling apart from this point on. Once the armory is done, start that upgrade, but you know, kind of hard once you don't have the gas. Your natural gas is just now going at the 9-minute mark, so it should be a little faster. I think I can find some practice maps, like build order maps and whatnot, and I'll also link that to you, or I can just have you download it if you join my game. So just communicate with me if you're interested in having that, because I can be more than happy to give it to you. But other than that, yeah, it just, from this point, it just seems like you fall apart, so there's really not much to commentate or to really help you out. But just don't be afraid to spam. Basically, it just makes you move around the keyboard a lot faster. It'll be kind of pointless at first, but over time things will be comfortable, and you'll just be able to start executing actions a lot faster. And then just transfer. The mineral line is very barren, so. Oh, okay, nice. Nice little micro. That's actually really good. Holy hell, yeah, you did really fucking good right there, man. Good job. Hell yeah. That was solid. It took me, what, 4 times to notice that, so I apologize. And yeah. Starport. I don't think you need a double starport, just a single starport for science vessels. You don't, if you're like going some sort of drop play, double starport's understandable, but right now it's not really. And then see how you push out here, just keep everything there, and then just to tap on this one more time. So once you get the third, or once you finish the third CC, float it over, send a few siege tanks for right here, with some SCVs to wall off this ramp with supply depots, throw down a turret, and then boom, you're secured. And then over the course of time, you just want to slowly add on turrets everywhere for the inevitable arbiter drop or recall. So other than that, that's pretty much all I could have. So yeah, let's move on to the next replay. And try not to beat yourself up so much, because in the Discord you're like, oh, I suck at this game. Everyone sucks at this game. It's a really difficult game. I've been playing this hardcore for the past, like, what, 4 years, so I still just mess up on just basic things. There's always room for progress. Everyone's always making errors. So I'm going to assume you're going to be doing the same build. I'd like it for you to just, I was trying to follow the 1010 build, but forgot after racks. I'm assuming this is something else you were trying to do, but it's not following the same replay as last one. So 12 for barracks, 12 for refinery after the 9 supply depot. Hopefully this is the factory expo. Okay, you're throwing down the second supply depot. It was round 15, I think. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, yeah, let's just go with that. I'll slow it down just a little bit to make sure that I'm keeping tabs on everything. Factory at 16, so you if everything's following suit, you won't have an excess of, or you won't have a surplus of minerals. Let me get this up. I'll keep the replay bar up. I hate that it hides this. It's so annoying. Factory's done. Throw your 2 guys back on there. Oh no. Yeah, you should always just, when in doubt, throw the CC on top, right here, remember, so it's close to fly. But yeah, throw the CC right there. Barracks, you want to have it here. I don't really like how you have the factories down here. I'd prefer if you had them up here, because once again, just that, expediting the movement process of the units is just a little bit better. You didn't really make your Marines like you did last game, so I mean, as you can tell right now, he could just walk up and kill you, but I think he's being a little safe. Are you going for the double factory? Oh, okay, this build you're going to be doing the double fact, so if you're doing the double fact, I'm not even sure what you're doing. I think you're just kind of winging it at this point. If you're doing the double fact, you don't pull guys off gas. You keep it going. And you basically cut SCVs for a little bit to be able to get these factories out a little faster. And then just decide whether if you want to do a vulture speed mine or siege tank. I've seen both work, so it really comes down to just personal preference. And what are you building here? You are building a starport, so going for a vulture drop, I think it looks like. If you're doing a vulture drop, you want to do like 1-1-1, so barracks, factory, starport, because the point of that build is to get out as soon as possible to catch the Protoss with its pants down. And then yeah, it just seems like kind of lost in the sauce of trying to figure out what to do. Once again, just try to think of one build you want to do and then just perfect it. And then from that point on, then you can start experimenting with other builds, because like me, I prefer to play like the late macro games. I like to have strong mechanics, but I also practice occasionally for like aggressive strategies for show matches. So just keep that in mind. Always try to focus on one build, and then others will come. Once again, you're not transferring. Transfer your SCVs. You have a lot stacked up, so a good rule of thumb, as long as you have one harvester on a mineral patch, everything else can transfer. And then once you have one mineral or harvester on the patches, you can start just mining, or having the spawning harvesters just go to the closest patch. Never stop SCV production as well. I typically like to do F2 screen location on this CC, F3 here, and then F4 at the third, so it's easier to cycle, because you don't want to hotkey the CCs, because the hotkey should be going to like the factories. Typically I only hotkey the factories, because by the end of the game you're going to have like just an absurd amount, and then you just jump to it and just cycle through. Protoss, let's not even focus what the Protoss is doing right now, because right now it seems like you just need to focus and hone in on your build order. Once you are able to manage a build order effectively, then we can start talking about game sense, strategy, tactics, etc. But yeah, it just seems like you kind of were all over the place, and then you just didn't really have a good timing. And once again, one machine shop per refinery. You can throw down additional factories for vultures, but yeah, you don't need that many factories. You're just not going to have enough gas. And then rule of thumb, or not rule of thumb, little fun fact. So if you have a siege tank producing at the same time you queue up a vulture, you can actually queue up 2 vultures, because 2 vultures builds at the same time as 1 siege tank. So when you do like a quick macro cycle, once we get there, you can do siege tank, double vulture, double vulture, double vulture, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, constantly going back to build a single vulture every time, because once the siege tank's done and the 2 vultures are done, you can go back and cycle all again. And you get the scout off. Okay, you're active with your vultures. That's important. It seems like you're constantly getting nice little pro kills. Ooh, you got micro down, so that's really good. Actually, holy hell, man, you keep doing this. I love it. Nice. Yeah. And now you're just getting like an absurd amount of resources stacked up, and yeah. Alright, so pretty much just focus on a build and stick with that one build. That's the only thing I can really think out of this replay, because everything was just seemed kind of like on the spot. Do whatever you think is right, and it didn't really work out to your favor, because once you execute the build properly, then you can start putting pressure on the Protoss. But if you're struggling back at home not knowing what to do, then the Protoss is just going to be able to expand freely and just do whatever the hell he wants. So there's 2 things you could do. You could learn the double fact strategy, which is super aggressive, but I like the fact that you're trying to do, or at least from the last game, the 1 factory Expo, because that's going to teach you a lot of the game's mechanics and starts to help you develop like game sense and, you know, understanding of the matchup a little bit more. I always feel like the longer you play, the more you get to, you know, figure things out. If you just do like cheeses, yeah, you'll get the victory, but in the end, you're kind of hindering yourself in the long run, because you're not actually going to be able to understand like why timings are timings and all that, because you're always just being super aggressive. And once a Protoss or an opponent knows that that's all the only build you know how to do, they're just going to be able to counter you. So don't want that. But yep. All right, let's move on to the next replay. And please give me some feedback with this video. I just started doing this, so I'm not really sure what works. The last guy I did was a Protoss, King Pie. I don't know if you know him, German player, but he said this was super helpful. I was trying to get a Terran player to help me watch this, so he could give you like a Terran's perspective on things. I did off race with Terran for like 5 months when it came to or when it was around like December. So I've got a very small foundation, but I mean, I just know that like if I had a Terran here, he'd be able to help you out, and he'd understand like the growing pains of TVP a lot better than I do. Surprisingly, I actually got a lot of TVTs when I was playing Terran for a while, so I really like that matchup. Alright, so 9, we got it, good, solid. After that, so you want a 12 supply, so build that SCV as soon as this is done, and you're good. Now gas, alright, you did it. No, it looks like you queued up. Yeah, you don't really need a double queue SCVs, but maybe it's just, oh, look at that, your APM skyrocketing. Okay, I see a lot of spam. Nice. Keep it up, dude. Magic bullet. You got it. Hell yeah. Alright, 2 on. Perfect. We're fucking flying. Supply depot. Boom. Looking fucking solid. Loving it. Scouting could be done. Yep. Okay. Fucking hell yeah, man. Now we're cooking. Factory. ASAP. Okay. Faster than the first game, so that's a plus. Probe, super fucking annoying, I know. Get the scale. Okay, 2 off, you're doing good. The 2 off is, so SCV scout is at, oh wow, okay, so apparently you're supposed to scout almost instantly. At the 9 supply, so your scouting is a little late. Oh no, he's throwing down a bunker. You don't need the bunker. You just hold the ramp. This map specifically. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I missed. Okay. Machine shop, and then 2 on gas. And then after you do the 2 on gas, siege tank as soon as possible, then 21 supply, you get your CC. So don't take this supply depot until 24 supply after you throw down your CC at 21 supply. So your CC is a little late. It's alright. And this should be siege tank. Yep. You throw down, start sieging your siege tanks here. Yep, perfect. Barracks fly down here. So you're good. You don't need that second factory as of yet. The eBay perfect instead of the academy like the first game. So you're doing a lot better. Transfer the SCVs. It seems like that's something that you kind of miss on a lot. You see all these guys just kind of like moving around. That's just wasted harvesting time that you could have. Okay, a bunker. You don't need that, but it's all right. Okay, cool. Like, nice. You got the siege tanks there. And then just, yeah, this is kind of where you fall apart. So I'll post the guide of TVP of the, what the heck? You don't need to be here. I don't know if you think he's doing, he is going quick arbor, so that's kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird, but I don't know. Just throwing down the mines that early just doesn't seem that the greatest. But I mean, you are going off of scouting information. You could have the academy down now for ComSat. Yeah. What the heck is that? Starport. Okay. This is a better location for your factories as opposed to building them there as the second game. You got Goliath. Typically for my hotkeys, I do 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 5 through 9 for infrastructure, and then it's just easier to rally and key up more units. And then, yeah, your army placement. Don't worry about pushing with as Terran until like you're pretty much at like 170 supply. Everything from that point is, or till that point, is just trying to defend, because Protoss can just do a whole bunch of dumb shit like this. So yeah, so let's go over this real quick again. So 9 supply depot, 12 barracks, 12 refinery, 15 supply depot, 16 factory, 20, or as soon as the factory is done, machine shop, siege tank, command center at 21, supply depot at 24, and engineer bay at 28. And then with all that being said, as soon as, or you take off the 2 guys off gas, wait. Yeah, so you take the 2 guys off gas once the factory is done. Oh, okay, sorry, I misread that. So let's pause it. I apologize. I gotta get back in the groove of things with coaching the other races. So once factory's done, you take 2 off gas. Once the machine shop's done building, you put 2 more on gas. So this is like the timing right here of when you have SCVs off and on gas. And then yep, CC at 21 right here, 25 supply depot, or 24 supply depot, 25 supply, you should have all the resources you need for siege tank, and then 28 is when you do the eBay. Barracks, float it down here to block off the ramp. here I feel like would be better because then it's protected by the siege tank. And then build units. You can throw down a supply depot right here if you want once you get a couple more siege tanks like these guys. Turret to be able to deny any type of Dark Templars. And then once you get enough units, start moving out. Then you'll have your third, then you take your third here. Once you take your third, you send a couple SCVs preemptively to start building the supply depots to wall off, a couple siege tanks to hold it, turret, thirds down. Now you transfer your SCVs accordingly, and yeah, and then you're cooking. And then throw down factories. And remember, rule of thumb, one machine shop per refinery. So you should only have one. You only have one. That's good. Once you get your second, you can get a second. And then with the extra resources, after you build your two siege tanks, you can throw down additional factories, and then spam vultures. That will reduce your minerals significantly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But so let me know if you have any critiques, any questions. I've got replays we can go over together of professionals. I can break it down for you. What I want you to take away from this is don't be afraid to spam to get your fingers used to hitting keys. You don't want to be clicking on the action card. You want to be using hotkeys and just cycling really fast. And then on top of that, let's focus on one build order. Let's stick with the factory Expo because that seems like the safest build to do. Hey, what's up, bud? Hey, give me like 2 seconds, alright? I'm doing a replay analysis for my student. But yeah, anyways, back to this. So focus on spamming, build order, and then once we get the build order, then we can start talking about the actual matchup we're dealing with. So just let me know, give me some feedback. Let me know if this is helpful or not, because we can go different routes. I'm basically basing this off of the other time I did it, and I got positive feedback. So if you have anything, just let me know. But don't get frustrated. It's a game. We're supposed to have fun. If you don't want a 1v1, it's all right. Just play BGH or fastest, and just focus on just the basics. Once you have a strong foundation, all you can do is just go up. So yeah, that's all I got. So until next time, man. Keep on playing and just keep at it. Looking forward to see more replays from you. See ya.